What if I told you that every time you ask ChatGPT a question, you're quietly contributing to one of the biggest energy crises the modern world has ever seen? Yeah. Let's talk about that. Here's the deal. Data centers. Those massive warehouse-sized buildings packed wall to wall with servers are the backbone of everything AI does. And right now, as you can see in this trend chart, their electricity demand is shooting up almost vertically. By 2030, we're looking at somewhere between 945 and 1,200 terawatt hours of electricity consumed every single year just to keep AI running. That's not a rounding error. That's roughly the entire electricity consumption of Japan, one of the world's largest economies. Gone, just to power your recommendation algorithms and image generators. Now here's where it gets wild. A regular server rack pulls about 5 to 15 kilowatts of power. Think of it like running a handful of hairdryers at once. An AI-optimized rack? Try 40 to 100 kilowatts. We're talking 6 to 7 times more power per unit. So it's not just that there are more servers. Each one is an absolute electricity monster. In the US alone, data centers already ate up 4.4% of all electricity in 2023. By 2028, that could climb to somewhere between 6.7% and 12%. More than entire industries like steel or cement manufacturing. And the response from big tech. Over $650 billion committed to new data center projects for 2026 alone. But here's the brutal irony. 20% of those projects are already delayed because plugging a data center into the national power grid isn't like plugging in your phone. Grid connection queues stretch 7 to 13 years. Transformers, the hardware that actually makes this possible, have lead times of up to 5 years. So AI's hunger for power is growing faster than the world's ability to feed it. And that gap? That's exactly what we're here to unpack. So the grid can't keep up. We've established that. But here's the more interesting question. Who actually makes money from this mess? Let's talk winners first. The quietest gold mine right now? The companies making transformers, switchgear, and power cables. Nobody's making reels about transformer manufacturers. But they are sitting on 5-year order backlogs with customers literally begging to pay premium prices just to get in line. That's pricing power most industries dream about. If you're in industrial manufacturing, electrical contracting, or supply chain for this sector, this is genuinely your moment. Next up, renewable energy and nuclear companies. Tech giants aren't waiting for governments anymore. Microsoft, Amazon. They're going directly to energy producers, locking in long-term private deals. That's a private investment wave into clean energy that doesn't need a government budget to exist. And then there's India specifically. The government rolled out tax incentives to pull in foreign data center investment, and it worked. Construction costs of $6 to $7 million per megawatt, significantly cheaper than the US or Europe, have helped build a pipeline of 3.5 gigawatts of plant capacity. That's real work for local construction firms, electrical contractors, real estate developers, even hospitality businesses. Now the losers? Ironically, the tech giants themselves. Short term at least. A 7-year grid queue means those expensive GPU clusters could be obsolete before they're even switched on. Billions in hardware, just waiting. The AI energy crunch is a problem for some and a wide open opportunity for others. And up next, we'll look at where policy fits into all of this. So where does all of this go from here? Because the really interesting part isn't what's happening right now, it's what's coming next. And two forces are quietly shaping the next decade, and both of them are going to surprise you. The first is something experts are calling the power wall. Here's the simplest way to think about it. Imagine a city that keeps adding more cars to the road, but nobody is building new highway lanes. What do you get? Gridlock. Every single day. That's exactly what's happening right now. You've got $650 billion pouring into new data centers, and the existing power grid simply cannot keep up. The result? Project delays, stranded investments, and a full-on scramble for alternatives. And this is where it gets interesting for anyone watching business trends. Because that scramble is creating an entirely new category of opportunity. Companies are now building on-site solar farms, battery storage systems, and even small modular reactors. Compact, factory-built nuclear units. Just to power their own data centers, completely off-grid. The power wall bottleneck, as you can see here, is essentially forcing a new industry into existence. If you're anywhere near energy services or engineering, this is not a trend to sleep on. Then there's the second force. Jevons paradox, named after a 19th century economist who figured out something deeply inconvenient about efficiency. The paradox goes like this. When a technology gets more efficient, people use it so much more that total consumption actually goes up. Think fuel-efficient cars. Cheaper to drive meant people drove more, and total fuel use rose anyway. AI is following the exact same script. Chips get more efficient. Running AI gets cheaper, more businesses pile in, more applications get built. And total energy demand keeps climbing regardless. In fact, AI-driven grid optimization could theoretically free up 175 gigawatts of global electricity capacity, enough to power hundreds of millions of homes. But Jevons paradox tells us that freed up capacity will just get swallowed by the next wave of AI expansion. It's a treadmill that keeps speeding up. The bottom line? This is not a short-term story. It's a structural, decade-long shift. And the businesses positioning themselves along this supply chain today, in power equipment, renewables, and data center services, are the ones most likely to ride the next massive wave of global investment. Follow us for more updates like this. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and X.